Like rats fleeing a sinking ship, staffers are now leaving the White House en masse. According to sources cited by CBS News, the White House has reportedly told staff to decide by the end of January if they will be leaving the administration or would be staying for the midterm. So this is John Kelly. He's like, okay, which one of you guys are going to stay? Anybody's going to stay? Anybody? Bueller? Looking for somebody to stay, right? According to the source, the White House is facing an exodus of staff drawn to higher pay packets in the private sector amid plunging morale and exhaustion. You know, I couldn't imagine why there is low morale. I thought that I thought heads were going to be spinning by how much winning we're doing. I mean, we're doing so much winning here, thanks to the Trump administration. In reality, look, to be honest, I think a lot of the staff did get a win. And let me explain. The tax cuts. Look, most of the people were there to make sure that President Trump cuts taxes for the rich. That was the whole purpose, right? That's the whole purpose of the Republican Party, is to give enormous tax breaks for the rich and corporations. That's what they're there for. So, hey, look, mission accomplished, right? So I think a lot of them are going to leave. Now, furthermore, the article notes, the notification is intended to give the White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, an idea of the number of staff intending to leave so departures can be staggered. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, they want to avoid the impression that there is a rush to leave what is considered an embattled administration. Yeah, no, let's make sure, like, you can leave on Tuesday, and you can leave for, like, next month, and then we'll stagger it out, right? Because I know what the press is going to be. I know what they're going to say, and what they're going to say is 100% true, that people are fleeing the Trump administration. And look, they already have a really hard time keeping people in the administration. They've got so many jobs that are unfilled. And there's a couple of problems with, or a couple of reasons for that. Now, for one, I go to CNN on this one, who said that sources close to the West Wing told CNN that the Trump administration is finding it difficult to fill certain vacancies, as the Russia probe focuses on close Trump aides and the president's popularity has plummeted in the polls. So, look, Donald Trump is incredibly unpopular, massively unpopular. And, of course, the Russia investigation. Look, you may disagree with me on how much Mueller has, on whether or not they could take down Trump. I think they can. I think they're going to go after him with the money laundering. And I think there's a very good chance that they're going to indict him with that. What comes from that, I don't know, right? And that's just my personal speculation based on what I know so far, right? As far as him being incredibly unpopular and people around him being unpopular, we'll just look at some of the recent races. I mean, you've had a lot of Democrats making inroads in very conservative areas, a lot of progressives that are winning local races now, thanks to the unpopularity of the Republican Party and Donald Trump. Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of these, look at Congress, right? You've got a lot of Republicans that are no longer going to be running for office. The latest, of course, is Darrell Issa. Then you have Jeff Flake, and then you have Bob Corker. You have many others who've decided, you know what, I'm not going to run because I think we're going to get slaughtered because there is a wave. It looks like there's going to be a pretty good midterm for Democrats, but that means, of course, turnout. You've got to turn out. Because it's not just going to happen on its own. People actually got to get out there and vote. Now, not only that, but look, you got to wonder why people aren't just lining up to join the Trump administration. Well, they're not because, like I said, there's a lot of different factors that I had just mentioned. Now, clearly there's a lot of people that are leaving because of a range of different factors. Russia, popularity, better jobs in the private sector, and of course, getting the tax cuts, right? So that's what's going on here. So who is leaving and who has left? Well, in December, Deputy National Security Advisor Dina Powell announced that she would be departing the administration and is expected to leave after Vice President trip to the Middle East. So he's going to the Middle East, and Dina Powell is going out the door. Among other high-profile departures, in Trump's first year were Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, who is now pouring Baileys on a cereal, whom was replaced by John Kelly, Communications Director Mike Dubke, and Anthony Scaramucci. Of course, Mooch wants to come back after he was fired after 11 days. And, of course, you have Steve Bannon, and the Bannon-Trump fight is awesome and amazing. I absolutely love it. According to the Wall Street Journal, there has been a higher first-year turnover of staff in the White House than any other prior administration. So, look, that's important to note because, yes, every administration has turnover, of course. I mean, you look at the Obama administration, you had several high-profile departures. But when you look at the Trump administration, it's actually far higher, the rate of turnover. I mean, this place is like a revolving door. People go in and then they come right back out. They're either fired by Trump or some of the staffers, or they have to leave. Now, again, you wonder why. Well, it's because of quotes like this from Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury. Several staffers close to the president are quoted being critical of the way the White House runs. Former Goldman Sachs executive Gary Cohn, who leads the president's National Economic Council, cited describing Trump as, quote, an idiot surrounded by clowns. Well, that sounds about right. He is an idiot, and he is surrounded by clowns. And he's surrounded by people who are basically, to his face, yes men, and then talk shit about him behind his back. So, now Cohn goes on to explain why so few new staffers are being hired. Quote, they only accept people who pass ridiculous purity tests, even for mid-level policymaking jobs where the people will never see the light of day. Quote, I'm in a constant state of shock and horror. I think we all have been, Gary. I think we all are. But hey, look, Gary Cohn, the whole point of him and Steven Mnuchin joining the administration is so they could push for tax cuts for the rich. So then my question is, for Gary, when is he jumping ship? Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.